So let me hurry up because I have my Henry. I think Henry's about to start being bad. Okay. So the next one is called Shiner. It is a novel by Amy Jo Burns. I love this novel just because of the feel of it, because of the look of it, and I loved it because um, there was something that I could feel about it. As a teacher, I was a former teacher. One of the books that I remember doing with my class in sixth grade was called Belle Prater's Boy, or Belle Prater's Boy. It was about the mountains of West Virginia, just a whole different place. And I'm a person, I love movies, I love books that take me to another geographic location. One of the things that I'm watching right now on TV is it's about Seattle Grace Hospital called Gray's Anatomy. So I'm coming late to Grey's Anatomy. I just started watching it since we've been out for the quarantine, and I'm on season 6 of 16 seasons. So you can see I'm coming late to it, but I love it because it takes place in Seattle. So I love those moments where they're driving down the street or when they're at home, and it kind of gives me that feel of another place. I'm a type of person, I say 3 or 4 times a week that I'm moving to Africa. That's what I say. Mama never believed me. Um, I told my brother I was moving to Boston this morning. And so I'm always dreaming about going to another place, walking the streets of some place. And so this book does that for me. Um, so I'll read you a little of what it says. On a lush mountaintop, trapped in time, 3 women must defy the traditions that have held them captive. An hour from the closest West Virginia mining town, teenage Wren Bird lives in a clustered mountain cabin with her parents. They have no car, no mail, and no visitors. I said, I don't know where they at with no mail because U.S. mail go everywhere. If you know me, I was born in Dougherty County, Georgia, which is Albany, Georgia. And we lived in Calhoun County, which is Arlington, Georgia. It's the country, but we always had mail and we had school buses. So they have no car, no mail, no visitors except for her mother's lifelong friend. Every Sunday, Wren's father delivers winding sermons in an abandoned gas station where he takes up serpents and praises the Lord for his blighted white eye, proof of his divinity, and key to hold he has over the community, over Wren and her mother. Then one summer, a miracle performed by Wren's father quickly turns to tragedy. As the order of her world begins to shatter, she must learn the truth of her family's harrowing history in order to imagine a different future for herself. This story is rich with love and loss. Shiner uncovers 2 generations worth of Appalachian heartbreak and resolve. How many people ever heard about Appalachia? I don't know how they said Appalachia, Appalachia, I don't know. But they say it a different way. They have different accents. I've never been there. Um, when I think about going somewhere far away, Mama always say, "Do they have a doctor? Are you gonna be able to have your EpiPen?" Why she say stuff like that? So, um, it's a very good story. And I'll tell you, since I was a little girl, at my church in Arlington, Georgia, Calhoun County, at New Point Missionary Baptist Church on a dirt road, Reverend Fowler would preach long. For some reason, we never got out of church until 4 o'clock, but a lot of times we started church at 12. But whenever I would go in the bathroom, I would always find a snake. And I would have to go get my daddy, and daddy would have to go get a deacon, and then all the men in the church would be getting up to go, kill the snake, and everybody would be, there's a snake in the bathroom, there's a snake in the bathroom, so on and so forth. And so, as a little girl, I was always taught, look where you're walking, which is why I have a problem with walking little Henry, because I'm always looking, scanning the ground, and I'm always praying that God keeps me safe from danger, seen and unseen, that He orders my steps, and that He guards every single step I take in that environment, because I am a country girl. And so I'm interested to read this book called Shiner. How many people have had parents, and our kids have to grow up with their parents, just like I had to grow up with my parents. One of the things I can tell you about my parents, they always provided for me. They always were sure I never went hungry one day. I always had a roof over my head. I always had loving caretakers. Had my grandmother. I had my Aunt Mamie. And most of the time I was spending with my Aunt Mamie while my dad was at work, while my mom was at work. Spent a lot of time with them. But Louise Hay said we choose our parents. And so apparently this little girl has chose her parents because she had some type of lesson to learn, and her daddy is a snake handler. And as she said, that he's already lost one of his eyes um, to that. But she's at that church. She's clustered. She's closed in with them at the abandoned gas station in the Appalachian, but they say Appalachia Mountains. And so I think this story will be interesting. Even though I've never been to those mountains, I can identify with being a little girl raised in a loving household. We didn't handle the snakes. We